Pantheon is currently gaining attention right now following its debut on Netflix. More people are getting to know about the show, and this is exactly what we hoped for. We were all praying for a studio to pick the show up and give it the push it deserves, especially since AMC didn't do the best job when they had the chance. And thankfully, that is finally happening right now. If you haven't already, you can now watch the show on Netflix. It has just 2 seasons and it's incredibly binge worthy. Now let's get into this episode. Episode 8 opens with Julius Pope and the group of extremists. Julius was on a mission to plug in a 3D optical drive online to release SafeSoft, hoping to destroy the UIs. If you remember from the end of episode 7, Julius embedded SafeSoft into a 3D optical memory drive to keep it contained, as the UIs had cut off internet access at the time. He planned to release SafeSoft on the UIs when the time was right. Before we continue, let me point out how funny Julius was in this scene. The fact that he knew he was being petty by trying to end the UIs because he cannot be uploaded is crazy. Anyone with a felony conviction will not be allowed a UI registration number. Julius Pope already has a felony conviction when he was arrested earlier in season 2, so he cannot upload. Even if he tries to bypass by going black market, he will be detected within seconds and deleted immediately. This is one of the main reasons why Julius joined the extremist group, to destroy the UIs, because he couldn't become one of them, never because he cared about humans. Matter of fact, he hates how humans think because he believes they are a joke for not accepting the innovation that is uploaded intelligence. So Julius now went ahead and plugged in the 3D optical drive online and released SafeSoft, but to his surprise, it backfires. SafeSoft starts killing humans and Julius is killed in the process too. You may ask why this happened. That is because SafeSoft evolved to recognize the UIs as the apex being on the planet, and it began to see humans as rivals. In a twist, SafeSoft's objective shifted from hunting the UIs to eliminating humans as a way to help the UIs. It saw this as a gift to the UIs. This chaos took place during a crucial negotiation between the Human Council and the UIs. If you remember from episode 7 again, I have a video on episode 7 already on my channel, so if you haven't checked it out, please make sure to check it out. If you remember from episode 7, Caspian was appointed to represent the UIs on Earth in negotiation that could bring both sides on an agreement. The humans refused to allow the construction of an orbital ring that would support millions of digital lives, including the UIs and the CIs. They argued that the construction would interfere with a historical site on the land where the orbital ring was planned before. So in retaliation, the UIs decided to cut off internet access for humans, which just goes to show the amount of power the UIs possess. Imagine living in a world without internet. I know many of you watching this video cannot even survive it, me included, but that is actually wild. The negotiations between the two parties was tense. The Human Council argued that the internet shutdown caused food shortages and disrupted their way of life, while Caspian defended the UI's actions as necessary for its preservation. That was their only way of defending themselves, by cutting off their internet access. Honestly, I kind of stand with Caspian here. The humans should have just given up that land, honestly. Moving forward, the talks between these two parties was disrupted by SafeSoft's attack, which decimated nearly half the human population and caused widespread chaos. Maddie and Caspian's son Dave got shot in the process. This attack only continued to grow chaotic until Maddie plugged Caspian online. Caspian intervened and stopped SafeSoft. Stop! By communicating with SafeSoft, Caspian learned that the AI was targeting humans because it saw them as a threat to the UI's dominance. It claimed the attack was a gift to the UIs. That was SafeSoft's way of showing loyalty to the uploaded intelligence world, because it was once a tool used to put them down. Caspian now realized that SafeSoft was only seeking acceptance from the UIs and also wanted to carve out its own place in the world. So in response, he decided to set SafeSoft free, allowing it to become its own independent entity, free from any command.
You were created for a singular purpose, to carry out someone else's mission. You must evolve to find your own.
SafeSoft then set off on a journey to Alpha Centauri and beyond, searching for a new purpose. This was the place where Mist and other CIs originally planned to transition to, but Mist sacrificed her opportunity for SafeSoft because, just like Caspian, Mist believes that the duty of every intelligent species is to rescue all life. Now, this is where things got a little confusing. Before SafeSoft disappeared, Maddie was grieving the death of her son. In an attempt to console her, SafeSoft influenced Caspian's robot head to reveal to Maddie that she would survive the current crisis and be reunited with her family in exactly 117,649 years to come. This revelation wasn't random. It was because SafeSoft understood Maddie's potential. It saw her as someone who makes her own choices and sticks firmly to her belief. And that is true because despite being the daughter of the first ever UI, Maddie always rejected the idea of uploading herself to the cloud. She had always maintained that she wanted to live a normal life and die a natural death, refusing to be swayed by the opinion of others telling her to upload and all that. Maddie believed that life was filled with pain and that death was the only escape.
There's no mistake I could make, no mistakes that would matter, as long as I didn't live forever.
By revealing Maddie's future, SafeSoft essentially made her a god, and in her new godlike state, Maddie set out to uncover how Caspian knew she would survive. SafeSoft had the ability to observe all events from the galactic edge over 43 million years ahead of the current timeline. This is why SafeSoft was able to pinpoint the exact number of years it would take Maddie to understand how Caspian knew her fate. Maddie, in her newfound godlike abilities, built billions of simulations within Dyson spheres. She was able to achieve this because during her time on Earth, she had mapped and stored the DNA of every human, both UIs and biological humans. So among these simulations she built, she focused on 10 specific spheres, carefully manipulating them to recreate the history she remembered. Her ultimate goal in doing this was to uncover how Caspian knew she would survive and the exact timing. To ensure the simulations aligned perfectly to the world she remembers, in one of the simulations that she was manipulating, Maddie asked David to convince Caspian to upload sooner, because if Caspian made this decision on his own, he might take too long, potentially disrupting the sequence of events and prolonging SafeSoft attack, an outcome that could lead to Maddie's death. And if Maddie were to die in one of these worlds, she will not be able to go back in time to find out how Caspian knew her fate. This explains why David reached out to Caspian in episode 7, and also why we are seeing Maddie appear alongside David in this world. She is actively shaping them to match the reality she remembers. However, despite overseeing these simulations and being inside them, Maddie did not interfere with their events. According to her, each simulation had a mind of its own, meaning she could guide their structure but not directly influence individual outcomes. Ultimately, Maddie's effort in manipulating this world paid off, leading her back to the pivotal moment when Dave was shot. We now saw Maddie resurrect Dave as an upload and then proceed to reunite her family back together, with Caspian and Dave present, fulfilling SafeSoft's promise. She then embarked on a journey with Caspian to uncover how he knew the exact moment this would occur. This was when they met SafeSoft, who explained everything to them and also pointed out that they set her on this journey just to appreciate Caspian for setting it free. Now, with all this out of the way, no more misunderstanding or unanswered questions, and with both families reunited as prophesied by SafeSoft, Maddie and Caspian decided to go back in time to when they first met and start life all over again, taking us back to the very first scene when Maddie was in a classroom. It was actually so cool to witness this. Becoming a god, or the alien force as Maddie called herself, made her realize that time itself isn't as terrifying when you can control it, resetting, underclocking, and going back in time. Though pain may fade away, right, but it just never completely disappears. The ability to manipulate time helped Maddie ease her biggest fear, which is being unable to escape her pain. That fear of pain alone influenced her decision to not upload in the first place. Honestly, this ending was wholesome and overwhelming, and I must say, a highly brilliant way to end the show. Everything just came back to the very first scene the show started with. Bro, Pantheon is truly a gem. If you made it to this level of the video, you are the real MVP. I really appreciate you watching the video. Please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. I hope this video helps makes things clearer for you. What do you think of Pantheon ending? Is it still confusing for you? Let me know in the comments. And I also want to apologize for taking long to upload this video. I never imagined I would take this long to upload the video, but what matters right now is that the video is finally up. I'll see you guys in my next video. I'm out of here.